Hey kids, welcome to part 4 of our unit on how government works. Last time we talked about the legislative branch and how they make laws. This time we're talking about the executive branch and what its role is in our government today. So get out your ice cream scoop and pour on the sprinkles. We're going to make ourselves an ice cream sundae of learning. Don't let it melt. No one likes melted learning. Essential question. How does one person run the entire executive branch, and what does the executive branch do? Well, they really do execute things. No, not like that. The word execute means to carry out. And what the executive branch carries out is the laws. So the president is in charge of the executive branch. How does one person do it all? How does the president carry out the thousands of laws that we have? Well, obviously the president does not do it all. The president gets a lot of help from federal agencies and what is called the cabinet. Let's start by talking about what the presidential cabinet is. Nope, not that kind of cabinet. The president's cabinet is usually a group of close advisors that help the president make important decisions. Each cabinet member has a specialty like education, foreign policy, the military, the budget, and much, much more. In fact, there are 15 different cabinet positions. These are the people who the president meets with and discusses what decisions should be made for the country. This allows someone who isn't a genius about every subject known to mankind, aka a human being, to get good advice when making decisions for the country. Cabinet members are chosen by the president and approved by the Senate before they can serve in their position. Besides advising the president, cabinet members are also in charge of federal departments. For example, the cabinet member that advises the president about the budget is also head of the Department of Treasury. The Department of Treasury is in charge of carrying out the printing of money, paying of debt, and funding programs across the entire government that Congress approves. Another example is the cabinet post of Attorney General, which is the head lawyer of the country. The Attorney General is in charge of the Department of Justice, which includes running the FBI to enforce the federal laws Congress has passed. As the president appoints members to the cabinet, what is really happening is the creation of the leadership of the entire executive branch. The president is in charge of enforcing all the laws of our country, and yet you never see the president giving out tickets or arresting criminals. To make an analogy with the business world, the president and cabinet members are like the executives of a big business. You wouldn't see Bill Gates in the assembly line putting Windows DVDs in boxes. Executives look at the big picture of the overall budget, direction of the company, and new ideas to make the business better. Federal agencies contain managers, but also people who do the real work day to day that has to be done for the government to actually function. In the business world, these people would be like the factory worker or the salesperson in the store. FBI agents are the ones who actually go out and arrest people who break the federal laws. The FBI is an agency that is part of the Department of Justice, which is run by the Attorney General, who's appointed to the cabinet by the president. As you can see, there are many people involved in running the executive branch, so even though the president is the leader of the branch, he or she relies on thousands of people to get everything done. Even though the president doesn't do it all alone, it doesn't mean he or she isn't important. At the same time, the president is human, which means the president can become sick, pass away, or be removed from office for breaking the law. If for some reason the president can no longer serve, there is a predetermined order of who would take over. The order of people who would take over is known as the line of succession. The first in line to take over for the president is the vice president. This has happened 9 times in the history of the United States due to presidents passing away while in office or resigning for the presidency. After the vice president is the Speaker of the House, who is the leader of the House of Representatives. If the Speaker of the House is unavailable, it would be the leader of the Senate. If the leader of the Senate is unavailable to serve, it becomes the Secretary of State, and then goes down through the members of the cabinet. In all, there are 17 people in the line of succession outlined in the Constitution. The reason why the Constitution prepares for that many people being unable to serve is just in case there is a natural disaster, nuclear war, or any other kind of attack that may take the lives of our government leaders. One such situation that could occur is an attack to the speech known as the State of the Union. The Constitution requires the President to report to Congress what the current state of the country is. Over the years, this has turned into a major event, and during the speech, the members of the House, Senate, President, Vice President, and all but one member of the Cabinet are all present in one place. If there was to be an attack, earthquake, fire, or some other disaster that took the lives of those leaders, most of the people in the line of succession would be gone. That is why, during the State of the Union, one member of the cabinet is always taken to a secret location, so just in case there is a disaster, the country would not be without a leader. So what? Well, if you can answer the following questions, then you learn what you need to know. Who helps the president run the executive branch? What is the difference between someone who works at a federal agency and the president? And finally, what is the line of succession and how does it work? Tune in next time when we talk about the judicial branch and what they do besides judo.